I don't want to give you the impression that people are being lifted out of poverty at a satisfactory rate. More than a fifth of Indians, or about a quarter of Indians, still live below the absolute poverty line of $1 a day, the World Bank definition of absolute poverty. And if you look at the contrasts, you know, they're as striking as they've ever been. There was a very good piece by a colleague of mine the other day looking at the rate of affluenza, if you like, in metropolitan India, where because of the booming new middle classes, you have things like, you have new social problems like obesity. And 1 in 5 children in New Delhi is classified as obese, and there are other symptoms of affluenza, you know, bulimia and teenage suicide rates. At the same time, 42% of Indian children under the age of 5 suffer from chronic malnutrition by UNICEF standards, are born chronically underweight, which stymies your development, physical development for the rest of your life. The contrast of these two side by side is, I think, a very major problem for India. And although that rate of chronic malnutrition is falling, and the rate of absolute people living in absolute poverty is falling as well, it's an unacceptably high level. Sub-Saharan Africa, which is much poorer than India, has only 26% of under 5 children chronically malnourished. This inequality, this in economics jargon, this deteriorating Gini coefficient, the measure of inequality, is a problem for India. And I think the fact that you are seeing annual GDP growth rates of 8 or 9%, but the rate of people living in poverty, proportion of living in poverty, is only falling annually by 1%. That gap, that 7% gap between the two, is a measure really of the inefficiency of the Indian state, and we can talk about this a little bit later.